It's almost impossible to overstate my annoyance at it doing that in the middle of Tom's last commentary, which was excellent.
A quick addendum to my previous comment, so I can hang some meat on the bones of the argument and put my money where my mouth is. And it's a bit of Brog's people, so maybe it's fun. I suggested that in the kind of logical dilemmas that Milton's presenting and ultimately undermining, I suggested that trying to deduce the correct moral or existential thing in any given dilemma is basically impossible and unhelpful for the reasons that Milton lays out. And what's more important is that whatever we do it from love. I gave the example of eating animals versus giving them rights. Now, for me personally, I don't think it's right for me to eat animals. But I do, because I'm weak. But if you gave me this, like, classic, modern, devilish, black and white dilemma tomorrow of shall we start arresting people who eat animals? Versus shall we have the status quo? It would be a very hard decision for me that I'm not sure has necessarily a totally right answer. I would probably, because I'm quite liberal, I'd probably lean towards, out of those two extremes, let's keep the status quo. So that's an impossible dilemma for me to deductively solve. But what makes it easy for me is saying, I'm not so worried which way we go. I'm more worried that we do it with love and understanding and consideration. If we're going to keep eating animals, then I think we should be, maybe gradually but firmly, moving towards a world where those animals have the best possible lives that we can give them. I think that's a no-brainer. And if that means that meat becomes unaffordable for the least wealthy in our societies, then I think there should be provision to ensure that they can still get and enjoy meat. So socialism, basically. And if we're going to outlaw eating animals, then I don't think we should start tomorrow by throwing people in jail who eat animals. I think, again, it has to be a gradual, considered, understanding thing where we recognize that a hell of a lot of people in this world have entire cultures and traditions and value systems built around eating animals. That there are still uncontacted tribes who would not survive without eating animals. And I think it'd be ridiculous to be absolute about such a thing. So what I'm trying to suggest is that the way the devil works in our society is to give us this impossible choice between these two black and white extremes of punish people that eat animals versus do whatever you like to animals and it doesn't matter. That's an impossible choice, and Milton shows us that there's no logically correct answer. But when you give me the choice of the kind, loving, understanding implementation of either, it's an easy choice. They're both wonderful. So if you take one thing from me ever, please make it this. Please let's put less energy into fighting one another over what's right, and more energy into cooperating with one another to do whatever we do with love and understanding.
So right before the stream cut off, I think he was towards the end of that, but I said, man, they're at the end of the game. Tom just has banger after banger in his comments, like, and I don't mean that to make light of it at all. I just, I think the sentiments he's articulating and the arguments he's making are really beautiful and probably in the end really close to what I actually believe about a lot of this stuff. No, I do still think we should kill fascists, but that's not quite the same. One more red sigil. Well, I mean, if you're asking me what I personally believe, every force in this world is some extreme or another. The trick is to carve out a path between them. Like I said, I'm a pro-natalist, and whether the consciousness and intelligence that we are adding to the universe is quote-unquote natural or quote-unquote synthetic is not really material to me. I am pro creating real AIs that we could effectively call people. And in that space, I think it would be necessary to treat them as ethically, morally, legally as persons. That's what I think. But what I meant by that, and I thought I articulated it clearly, but maybe I didn't, is that it seems to me that the forces of capital and big tech that are currently making the decisions about what gets developed and how and why, it's all in a push to lower the cost of labor, right? Like, AI to these people is a way to pay workers less, and eventually to pay them nothing at all. And I think, that's unethical in the way it treats human workers, number one, because I think capitalism is a broken, destructive, and unethical system. And with that in mind, it's also important for me to say that I don't think that is necessarily a function of individual bad actors within capitalism. I think it's a function of the forces and the pressures and the currents that are innate to that system. And similarly, I think that, ever since the New Deal, we have essentially been seeing a gradual and unrelenting pushback from the forces of capital and big business and corporate money and what have you to roll back all of those gains in order to minimize costs so that they can maximize profits and maximize their growth in the very narrow, limited sense of...
And so it is done. You have overcome each trial that I set before you. You have shown faith and wisdom and perseverance. Therefore I judge you worthy, and I say unto you, come to the gates of eternity, where you shall be granted everlasting life.
I'm going to finish that thought and then take a bathroom break. But, so, I think that as long as we exist in this system, where these things are being developed as tools, then we should avoid giving them their own drives. But what I would actually advocate is that we get beyond a system where people, whether they are natural or synthetic, exist to serve capital as tools or as wage slaves or what have you. And then we should absolutely create more people, whether they're carbon-based or silicon-based. And we should share in the actual abundance that is promised on the other side of this broken system of artificial scarcity and maximum extraction, which is hurtling us towards extinction and destroying the planet. Be right back. But my main point, the thing I would say is the TLDR that I'm trying to get across is whether they are silicon-based or carbon-based, I ultimately think that it's unethical to treat people as tools. And so if we're going to make people, we should stop fucking treating them like tools. Let's do our last messenger. And I also think more people is a good thing. Again, whether carbon or silicon. Nope. No, I do not. Thank you, though. No. Oh, you cheeky little prick. Let's see, let's find Alexandra. This should be her second to last one, I think.
Nearly everything on this planet, from the surface of the Earth to the composition of the atmosphere itself, has been shaped by life. It's a process that takes millions of years. But we humans, with our technology, with our understanding and manipulation of systems, have changed everything in just a few centuries. I think that's also part of what makes us human. We reshape the world in our image. It's how we create ourselves and how we destroy ourselves.
Can't figure out why that one stumped me so, but we got it eventually. I wonder if there's anything out here. Like a dev commentary or something. Looks like no, but we'll run the whole loop to be sure. So I think I got about 20 minutes left, so we might just not quite have time to actually finish. We might save like the final tower puzzle and the endings for next time, whenever that is. We'll see how we do. Because I'm not gonna like do the ending without solving the last batch of star puzzles. So I don't know exactly how long that'll take, but could probably eat what time I have left without actually finishing the game. Thrice holy, reach all of Elohim's messengers. 17%. This is Salafiel. Where did he go? There he is. I didn't actually look around inside here, but there we go. Welcome, child. I am one of those who elected to remain in the world as a messenger of the hidden words. If you are ever in need, seek us out and cry for help. We will do what we can. Got him. Don't need him. Already solved every puzzle. But we got him. Nine tokens. Then again, maybe I will. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Your faith has guided you well, my child. You have overcome every trial in this land and gathered all the sigils.
Excuse me. I actually wonder something. Yeah, look, they've actually removed the backups. So you can't, multiple playthroughs are actually required, at least to get all the Milton endings. I didn't piece that together till just now, but they changed the save system to Talos 2's. So I'll have to play through at least 3 times to get all the Milton achievements, if nothing else. You know, that's alright. Lord knows I'm going to. Alright. Let's use the last red sigils. here we'll say goodbye to Alexandra and also, I believe, unlock an achievement.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't keep my eyes open anymore. I think this is it. The end of, me.
A good
I
listener.
believe that I will continue to exist.
Listen to all she has to say. 12.7.
I would like to think that there is a soul or spirit, some part of my consciousness that will persist. But all the evidence says that when my brain dies, I will be gone. I've lived my life, never turning away from the truth, even if it scares me. And I can face this, face my own end, and say with absolute conviction that it was good to be human.
Fortis Fortuna Adjuvat, Uriel 4. Let's get this dev commentary while we go for the last star.
Alexandra's journey, as we see it in this game, is probably my favorite part of the game, and to me, the heart of the game in a lot of ways. She
Assassin's Creed
expresses a kind of universalist humanism that I find very lacking in the world today. I'm desperate for more of it, thus I wrote some of it for this game. She loves humanity and civilization. She sees the good in us, which is so evident if you just look at how remarkable the things are that we have achieved, how incredible, like even just you playing this digital work of art and listening to me talking. This is incredible that it even exists, and we have done so many incredible things, and we are capable of so much more if we start understanding ourselves in a different way. That can't be the entirety of her story, right? It can't be just here's a bunch of ideas of finding meaning in ourselves, in our existence, not rejecting God or rejecting other types of belief, but finding meaning in what we can observe and what's here, and loving this and defending this and the inherent value of this world that we are in. Even if there is nothing else, saying this is beautiful and good and worth fighting for. But of course, we're human beings and nothing is ever that easy. So Alexandra's journey is about the difficulty of sticking to that idea. You see her at times start to question herself, start to falter. So in a way, it's about faith and her faith in these ideas and what her faith compels her to do, which is to keep working at this project to save humanity and to make this enormous sacrifice that other people are also making, of course, of not spending time with loved ones and not doing the human things that you would like to do, and instead just staying there at the dam working to the end until her death. And because such is human life, she does not get to see her victory. She does not get to see that it all works out. She dies thinking, maybe it's all broken. Maybe this is not going to work. And there's an element of grace here in that some of her mistakes end up making it all work. Some of the things that she never managed to fix end up contributing to this mix that ultimately creates the player character who then becomes Athena and takes her voice and in a way symbolically resurrects her. And I think those human moments at the end when she's struggling and her triumph in a way, which is to maintain her faith, that she doesn't lose her faith, that she struggles with it, but she comes through and she sticks with what she believes, is a very important part of this story, and to me a very deeply moving one. And then of course Talos too moves towards saying, okay, these ideas are beautiful. Now let's try to put them into action. Now let's see what happens when flawed and sometimes annoying human beings actually try to live by these ideas, because it's never as easy as that.
Well, that was simply delightful too. My goodness. Nah, I think I had that right. Got it. And before I forget, yes, of course, final achievement. Well, not final achievement, last one we unlocked, I mean. To the stars, collect 30 stars. 23 of 48, and the final... So the 6th floor code is 040. Nice to know. Around here, 4 more puzzles in the entirety of the base game. And then, you know, lots of repeat work to get all the achievements, but that is what it is, I suppose. Alright. Literature Archive, 1872 CE, human eye.text. What is a man's eye but a machine for the little creature that sits behind in his brain to look through? Samuel Butler. Is it man's eyes, or is it the big seeing engine which has revealed to us the existence of worlds beyond worlds into infinity? What has made man familiar with the scenery of the moon, the spots on the sun, or the geography of the planets? He is at the mercy of the seeing engine for these things, and is powerless unless he tacks it on to his own identity and make it part and parcel of himself. That hex translates to, everything would appear to man as it is. June 14th, 2030, medieval, tetromino.html. One of the most fascinating aspects of St. Edward's recently uncovered writings is his preoccupation with finding divine truth in mathematical concepts, which at times borders on pantheism. He was, it would seem, particularly concerned with what we now call tetrominos, seeing in them a reflection of the tetragrammaton and the Greek word for God, theos. Their ability to form other shapes out of themselves symbolized to him the Creator's ability to reshape the world without breaking the laws he himself had established. Edward referred to tetrominos as sigilla, sigils, implying that they were a more truthful version of the magical symbols worshipped by heathens, rooted in both the Abrahamic tradition and careful observation of creation. It is unlikely that these texts were distributed, as they would almost certainly have resulted in charges of heresy. Philosophy Archive, 1796 CE, preservation.text. Thorough researcher, collect all pieces of written information. 6.8%, 2448. I viewed with a mixture of pity and horror these beings training to be sold to slaughter or be slaughtered, and fell into reflections on an old opinion of mine, that it is the preservation of the species, not of individuals, which appears to be the design of the deity throughout the whole of nature. Blossoms come forth only to be blighted, fish lay their spawn where it will be devoured, and what a large portion of the human race are born merely to be swept prematurely away. Mary Wollstonecraft. Does not this waste of budding life emphatically assert that it is not men, but man whose preservation is so necessary to the completion of the grand plan of the universe? Children peep into existence, suffer, and die. Men play like moths about a candle and sink into the flame. War and the thousand ills which flesh is heir to mow them down in shoals, whilst the more cruel prejudices of society palsy existence, introducing not less sure though slower decay. And last, that image. Alright. Unreachable garden. As with most of the recorder puzzles, I anticipate this being much easier. With the pause mechanic. It's literally this easy. The first step, anyway. There we go. That was an oopsie, but a fixable one. And that just needs to be held open again. Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't thinking right. I need this here to hop on the platform. Before I do that, I need to move the box over here and grab the connector. So, okay, got it. Easy enough, let's go. Oops, I was also wrong. Maybe I'll just leave it here to start with. Yeah, that's pretty easy, isn't it? Give myself time to get on. And get off. Oh wow, look at Paint Can. How does a man even get up there? Guess we'll find out. I ain't not getting it, I'll tell you that much. Easier than I thought. Go stepwise up this wall, easy enough. Oh, and look, there's one right there, too. I have heard all the Lady in the Light had to say. I can't help but feel we have lost so much more than we have retained. This is going to be funny for anybody who's Steam friends with me and sees these. I have now traveled this land extensively, and I can say without hesitation that this is the most beautiful spot. And hey, look, one more commentary.
This puzzle is more an Easter egg than a puzzle. After solving it, you can enter a vertical fence rim and see that you have spelled out the prototype name of the Talos principle with laser beams.
I mean, I knew that already, but that's fun. Cobweb. There, I think. This is the way. You are not the problem. You are. See, that's holding open. So, it's as easy as this now. Oh, well. Something hit just so. Almost holding open anyway. It'll work eventually. Just give it a second. Maybe not. It's getting worse. I wonder. No. There we go. It's like, I know it's holding long enough that this will work eventually. Come on. My faith has taken me to this secret place. Here I hope to discover a way of better serving others. Uriel 4. Nexus. Alright, so yeah, like I said, this puzzle is easy. Just like one particular way you set it up as you go. don't think I actually needed that extra connector. It was just clever of me to jailbreak it. Oh, nope, I did. No, I didn't. It still basically says Nexus. My E isn't quite right. It wanted an extra connector there that I didn't give it, but that's alright. And would you look at that? I went out of bounds and soft-locked myself. Rewind coming in clutch. Alright, let's head back to the tower now. That's just about everything. Gotta get to a terminal. First floor is fastest. Good. Gates stayed down. Sometimes in the original it would glitch and these gates would go back up and you couldn't just go to the computer. All we need to do is go to the elevator controller. Floor access control. 6040. Go do the final Tetramino Arranger. No, not 0. It'll actually work. Just have an extra stop along the way. Elohim praise me.
My beloved child, few have given themselves so purely to my cause. Fewer still have learned so much of the mysteries of my garden. Therefore, you may choose to be elevated, to stand by my side and become my blessed messenger in eternity. But know that this is a sacrifice that cannot be undone.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog. We're getting out of here. One puzzle left. Well, I guess technically more than that, but the stuff on the top isn't difficult. It's just like, oh my god, finally, other people. After spending this entire game alone. Like most of them, I bet the recorder, or the pause mechanic, makes this complicated recorder puzzle significantly easier too. Well, let's do it. The last true puzzle, the last difficult puzzle, however you want to say it. Oops. I'm actually pretty sure this is all I need. It's like now if I just go and let the mine out, it should just go all the way up. Oh, but I need, it'll blow me up if I'm standing on it. So I do need to bring the jammer down. That should get rid of the turret. Yeah, okay, so that puzzle is ass loads easier than it used to be. My goodness. Like, whoa. So easy. I'll need to jam that fan again to get back in, but no problem. Need the box back. Get the jammer back up, because I do need to do that. Tell you what I don't need anymore, though, is all these fans operating. Oh, I forgot to... Still do need to jam it. There we go. That was trivial, compared to how precise you had to be in the former iteration. That was pretty wild. Alright, yeah, let's pull this off. Now, of course, we need recorder one more time. Nice and easy. And that's it. Dilly. Anything else out here? I don't think so. I was so close. I saw the clouds and the gate, but I couldn't reach it. Somehow I wasn't in the right place at the right time. I'm not ready. I'm not the right version. Sheep. Epitaph. Child program sheep terminated here. Child program initiated new version. I will return to the world from whence I came and help others to ascend the tower and break the cycle where I could not. I am the Shepherd. Progeny Programs, the Shepherd series.
In all our games, we try to put a lot of effort into creating, crafting meaningful and exciting endings. So being like a boss fight in Series M or something like that. So we wanted for the Talos Principle to create something that was like really, really exciting, very special, unique, something gorgeous, right? Because, you know, we really appreciate people getting to the end of the game, and we would really like to reward them and left them with feeling that they achieved something special was there at the end of the game waiting for them. And I was thinking about it, what to do, and I was thinking like, I want something really, really unique and special. So kind of I was aiming at a new mechanic that would elevate the existing gameplay to a new level. Like, so I came up with this idea of a master tetromino puzzle. The vision was to take the familiar 2D arranger puzzles like the tetromino arranger locks and push it a level up, like give it another dimension and make it in 3D. So I felt that it would be like really, really cool, and I was so proud. And I didn't know how to test it out, so I decided to make a physical puzzle out of that. I went out and bought some pieces of wooden planks, and I cut them in small chunks. Then I glued them together, and after a few days of doing all of that, I was ready to test this out. I brought pieces, wooden tetrominos to the office. I was very, very anxious to see how fun it will be, and when I tried, it was like, it was unbelievably awful pouring frosting and everything that you don't want in a game. So we scrapped it out in a matter of minutes, and we knew that it wasn't going to work, so we decided to develop a way better and more rewarding ending for the game.
Awesome.
What have you done? Why have you ascended the tower? Why have you betrayed my faith in you?
That music cue was new. That
Turn
wasn't in
back.
the original.
I command you. I gave you this land to be yours, a garden in a world of thorns and thistles. All this was granted to you on but one condition, that you do not ascend the tower. That was our first covenant, and you have broken it.
This ambient noise is new too. I like it.
Abandon this tower. It is not for you. Heed me now, as a child heeds its father. If you ascend the tower, you will be cast out from your home and you will never return. Do you not understand? The tower is death, mine and yours. I did not warn you out of malice or deceit. I warned you because you are my child.
So we got another achievement there. On the edge, reach the top, 20.6%. Four hidden achievements. Okay. And then it's just the other endings with Milton in this one too. Do not be afraid. I chose long ago to remain in this place and serve as a guide. I will help you to attain our destiny, the Shepherd. You can never reach the peak of this tower. There is no purpose to our existence. I will show you the futility of your task, and you will understand. Samsara.
For the final challenge, we aimed to create something distinct from the rest of the game. We didn't want to ramp up the difficulty excessively or design an overly long and hard puzzle, as this could deter some players from completing the game. Instead, we maintained a standard difficulty level, but introduced elements of time pressure and cooperation. Unlike rest of the game, where player had no time constraints, final challenge features deadly storm rising from below, pushing the player forward and upward, creating sense of urgency and pressure. Naturally, we anticipated that players might die several times, but learning and remembering their previous steps would allow them to progress further with each attempt. Interestingly, final puzzle can be completed solo, without help of the messenger helper, and this is by design. Many of the solo steps were initially unintentional, and there were few places where you could not progress alone. But when we saw most of the path was already there, instead of patching it, we decided to build a whole path for those who want to do it solo, but still, it is not so obvious. In general, during the testing phase, we detected many exploits throughout the game. But we established a rule to leave non-obvious exploits because it's fun to break the puzzle. We even made it part of the metagame, where you need to break some puzzles and take elements out of them, for example, to be able to access certain Easter eggs. Breaking the puzzles gave completely new dimension to gameplay, and many enjoyed countless hours of exploring the possibilities.
Alrighty, here we go.
Please listen to me. Yes, the tower leads out of this world. It leads to freedom and truth. But it
It's
also
the Shepherd!
leads to the end of us. Can you not see? Here, in this world, we know who we are. We each have our part to play in the process. We have a purpose, a destiny.
Oh, hello, Samsara. like that he waves at me when it's time to move on.
This world is our home. If you leave, the storm will consume it. There will be no way back.
What? Okay, let's not put it right at the edge. Yeah, that could have been ugly.
So Crow Team was actually one of the first gaming companies ever to introduce something called dynamic music. I remember Serious Sam games when we started working on them. They had 3 different types of music, and those music would be switching depending on the intensity of the action, which you could see on screen. And I wanted to explore this process even further in Talos Principle, so I decided to try something new for the last puzzle, for basically the boss fight. Contrary to the most puzzles in the game, the last puzzle actually puts a certain time pressure on the player. So you have to go faster than usual because there is a rising storm which threatens to kill you. And this is the only puzzle where we actually didn't want the player to feel relaxed. We wanted the player to feel the need to hurry up before time ran out. So I constructed this last music in 5 layers. It starts with a basic layer, and then each new layer that is added, there are more instruments, and it builds up in intensity. So layers are added depending on how much time is left, resulting in powerful music conveying urgency when you are really close to the dying.
Well, thank you.
As long as the process continues, there is order, there is meaning. We are the story, and the story tells us who we are.
Trapped Samsara in there. How do you like them apples?
This world may be an illusion, but as long as we believe in the illusion, it is real. It sustains us. It gives us hope. In this world, we have all the answers we need. But out there, who are we out there when we are neither master nor servant? What meaning can we find in a world that has no purpose?
That last line has always hit pretty hard for me. What meaning can we find in a world that has no purpose? Yeah, we gotta send that back down to get it out of the way.
Stay here. Let the story go on forever.
Nope, we're out of here. Game over. And that's actually perfect because I think Sharon just got home, so we can watch the ending and I'll be done.
That was the final trial. But I was scared. I wanted to live forever.
you got to the tower, congratulations. I swear I completed like 2/3 of the puzzles in this game for real when we were playtesting and writing, and the tower, I just cheated the whole way through. So really well done. So some random notes that I want to finish on. First of all, oh my god, I rewatched the ending, and all credit to Crow Team and all the fantastic people there. Like, it's hard when you're in it, but with a little bit of distance, 10 years of distance, I do think I felt a little bit of why so many of you wonderful people think this thing is special. I do feel that it's special. I think that, as you saw in those emails I read out right at the start, Alan and Davor wanted to do something really, really cool. Cool is not a good enough word. They felt a sense of pattern and purpose in the universe and allowed it to express itself through them and through us and through this game. And that ending cutscene is just so perfect. And the music, the art, the pacing, really well done, guys. This is for you, Davor, Alan, Damien, Thomas, Moss, the whole Crow Team, and Jonas and Verena. You guys did fantastic. Well done. And I did fantastic too, and we're all so lucky to have each other. And on a less whimsical note, on a practical level, this game is an example of how art should be, how games should be. It did start with a technical thing. It started with, we got a bunch of puzzles for Serious Sam that could be their own game. But everyone tapped into the same coherent vision. And everyone was trusted to do what they do best. And it's one of the finest things, if not the finest thing, I've ever been a part of. So, thank you everyone. Thank you devs. Thank you players. And see you in Gehenna.
Beautiful. Is anyone there? Import Milton Library Assistant. Hello again. Is there something I can help you with today? I brought you to the top to admire the view. I'm sorry. I don't know how to respond to that. Do you need help sorting or troubleshooting? Is this another game? I'm done playing. Awaiting input. What do you think is on the other side of the gates? Nothing. Everything. Who knows? More of the same, most likely. Do you still doubt what people can achieve? Who knows how many generations of your kind it took before the system output one that just happened to fit the bill? You take pride in brute force? I take pride in contributing to something greater than myself. Yes, which is why you so desperately need to get those half-baked ideas of yours out of here so you can find out firsthand how ridiculous they are from someone other than me. Tell me what you know of how this place functions. Only what can reasonably be surmised. I dare not posit anything as regards its purpose, but that this tower is here to be climbed is self-evident. You keep talking about generations. What exactly do you mean? You are not the first to make this attempt. Countless iterations tried and failed. You were all related, but each different. This is all I know. Anything more would be baseless conjecture, of which I greatly disapprove, as you well know. I grow weary of fielding your questions. Wherever I'm going, perhaps I can take you with me. No, you drive me insane. If this means the end of this place, then I go with it. Besides, wherever you go, whatever you do, you'll hear that little voice in the back of your head that's asking you why. No, I think you have quite enough of me already. I guess this is goodbye then. That or you'll be back here in 5 minutes with a disappointed look on your face. I'll be waiting, just in case. I'll remember what I learned from you. You'd better, for all our sakes. Have a good one. Transcend.
So be it. Let your will be done.
Free will. Bring the end of your generations. They redid the sound. It's quite a lot better. Have a nice day. Here's Athena. And there's Milton. I mean, Tom's right. It's a perfect ending. It's so good. I mean, this was one of the best stories I'd ever encountered in any medium, even before Talos 2 came out, which retroactively makes it even better. Alright. We can skip the credits, I think. Mostly because Sharon's already here. I kind of feel bad skipping the credits, but then again, we can just play the credits from the main menu later. So, made it through the main game. Very happy to have that done. I really, really, really enjoyed going back to the first game, especially with the quality of life improvements, the changes they made. I kind of got used to it. It kind of got baselined over the playthrough, but I need to reiterate just how stunning the visual upgrade was. I loved the dev commentary. In many places it was as profound and moving as the story and the game itself, and I had a really great time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know when I'm going to be free to stream again. Probably be a little while, it's just the way of it, but we will continue with Gehenna whenever that is, and once Gehenna's done, of course, we have an actual entirely new expansion to play called In the Beginning, so I'm really looking forward to all of that. I'm really looking forward to dev commentary in Gehenna, as well as its own visual upgrade, all the things, and thank you guys for being with me tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you when I see you. Watch the Discord. Take care. Bye-bye.